Light of the Word. Presentation. The Word.
Genesis 16. 1 Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, but she had an Egyptian slave named Hagar. 2 So she said to Abram, "The Lord has kept me from having children. Go, sleep with my slave, perhaps I can build a family through her." Abram agreed to what Sarai said. 3 So after Abram had been living in Canaan 10 years, Sarai his wife took her Egyptian slave Hagar and gave her to her husband to be his wife. For he slept with Hagar and she conceived. When she knew she was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. 5 Then Sarai said to Abram, "You are responsible for the wrong I am suffering. I put my slave in your arms, and now that she knows she is pregnant, she despises me. May the Lord judge between you and me." 6 Your slave is in your hands, Abram said. Do with her whatever you think best. Then Sarai mistreated Hagar, so she fled from her. 7 The angel of the Lord found Hagar near a spring in the desert. It was the spring that is beside the road to Shur. 8 And he said, "Hagar, slave of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going?" "I'm running away from my mistress Sarai," she answered. 9 Then the angel of the Lord told her, "Go back to your mistress and submit to her." 10 The angel added, "I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count." 11 The angel of the Lord also said to her, "You are now pregnant and you will give birth to a son. You shall name him Ishmael, for the Lord has heard of your misery." 12 He will be a wild donkey of a man. His hand will be against everyone and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility toward all his brothers. 13 She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. "You are the God who sees me," for she said, "I have now seen the one who sees me." 14 That is why the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. It is still there between Kadesh and Bered. 15 So Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram gave the name Ishmael to the son she had born. 16 Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bore him Ishmael. Genesis 38. 1 At that time Judah left his brothers and went down to stay with a man of Adullam named Hira. 2 There Judah met the daughter of a Canaanite man named Shua. He married her and made love to her. 3 She became pregnant and gave birth to a son who was named Er. For she conceived again and gave birth to a son and named him Onan. 5 She gave birth to still another son and named him Shelah. It was at Kezib that she gave birth to him. 6 Judah got a wife for Er, his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. 7 But Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death. 8 Then Judah said to Onan, "Sleep with your brother's wife and fulfill your duty to her as a brother-in-law to raise up offspring for your brother." 9 But Onan knew that the child would not be his, so whenever he slept with his brother's wife, he spilled his semen on the ground to keep from providing offspring for his brother. 10 What he did was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death also. 11 Judah then said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's household until my son Shelah grows up." For he thought, he may die too, just like his brothers. So Tamar went to live in her father's household. 12 After a long time Judah's wife, the daughter of Shua, died. When Judah had recovered from his grief, he went up to Timnah to the men who were shearing his sheep, and his friend Hira the Adullamite went with him. 13 When Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep." 14 She took off her widow's clothes, covered herself with a veil to disguise herself, and then sat down at the entrance to Enaim, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that, though Shelah had now grown up, she had not been given to him as his wife. 15 When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. 16 Not realizing that she was his daughter-in-law, he went over to her by the roadside and said, "Come now, let me sleep with you." "And what will you give me to sleep with you?" she asked. 17 I'll send you a young goat from my flock, he said. "Will you give me something as a pledge until you send it?" she asked. 18 He said, "What pledge should I give you?" "Your seal and its cord and the staff in your hand," she answered. So he gave them to her and slept with her, and she became pregnant by him. 19 After she left, she took off her veil and put on her widow's clothes again. 20 Meanwhile, Judah sent the young goat by his friend the Adullamite in order to get his pledge back from the woman, but he did not find her. 21 He asked the men who lived there, "Where is the shrine prostitute who was beside the road at Enaim?" "There hasn't been any shrine prostitute here," they said. 22 So he went back to Judah and said, "I didn't find her." Besides, the men who lived there said, "There hasn't been any shrine prostitute here." 23 Then Judah said, "Let her keep what she has, or we will become a laughingstock. After all, I did send her this young goat, but you didn't find her." 24 About 3 months later, Judah was told, "Your daughter-in-law Tamar is guilty of prostitution, and as a result she is now pregnant." Judah said, "Bring her out and have her burned to death." 25 As she was being brought out, she sent a message to her father-in-law. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these," she said. And she added, "See if you recognize whose seal and cord and staff these are." 26 Judah recognized them and said, "She is more righteous than I, since I wouldn't give her to my son Shelah." And he did not sleep with her again. 27 When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. 28 As she was giving birth, one of them put out his hand. So the midwife took a scarlet thread and tied it on his wrist and said, "This one came out first." 29 But when he drew back his hand, his brother came out, and she said, "So this is how you have broken out." And he was named Perez. 30 Then his brother, who had the scarlet thread on his wrist, came out, and he was named Zerah.
Deuteronomio 13. 1 If a prophet or one who foretells by dreams appears among you and announces to you a sign or wonder. 2 And if the sign or wonder spoken of takes place and the prophet says, "Let us follow other gods, gods you have not known, and let us worship them." 3 You must not listen to the words of that prophet or dreamer. The Lord your God is testing you to find out whether you love him with all your heart and with all your soul. For it is the Lord your God you must follow, and him you must revere. Keep his commands and obey him. Serve him and hold fast to him. 5 That prophet or dreamer must be put to death for inciting rebellion against the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt and redeemed you from the land of slavery. That prophet or dreamer tried to turn you from the way the Lord your God commanded you to follow. You must purge the evil from among you. 6 If your very own brother, or your son or daughter, or the wife you love, or your closest friend secretly entices you, saying, "Let us go and worship other gods, gods that neither you nor your ancestors have known." 7 Gods of the peoples around you, whether near or far, from one end of the land to the other. 8 Do not yield to them or listen to them. Show them no pity. Do not spare them or shield them. 9 You must certainly put them to death. Your hand must be the first in putting them to death, and then the hands of all the people. 10 Stone them to death because they tried to turn you away from the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. 11 Then all Israel will hear and be afraid, and no one among you will do such an evil thing again. 12 If you hear it said about one of the towns the Lord your God is giving you to live in. 13 That troublemakers have arisen among you and have led the people of their town astray, saying, "Let us go and worship other gods, gods you have not known." 14 Then you must inquire, probe and investigate it thoroughly. And if it is true and it has been proved that this detestable thing has been done among you, 15 You must certainly put to the sword all who live in that town. You must destroy it completely, both its people and its livestock. 16 You are to gather all the plunder of the town into the middle of the public square and completely burn the town and all its plunder as a whole burnt offering to the Lord your God. That town is to remain a ruin forever, never to be rebuilt. 17 And none of the condemned things are to be found in your hands. Then the Lord will turn from his fierce anger, will show you mercy, and will have compassion on you. He will increase your numbers as he promised on oath to your ancestors. 18 Because you obey the Lord your God by keeping all his commands that I am giving you today and doing what is right in his eyes. Job 19. 1 Then Job replied, 2 How long will you torment me and crush me with words? 3 10 times now you have reproached me. Shamelessly you attack me. For if it is true that I have gone astray, my error remains my concern alone. 5 If indeed you would exalt yourselves above me and use my humiliation against me. 6 Then know that God has wronged me and drawn his net around me. 7 Though I cry, violence, I get no response. Though I call for help, there is no justice. 8 He has blocked my way so I cannot pass. He has shrouded my paths in darkness. 9 He has stripped me of my honor and removed the crown from my head. 10 He tears me down on every side till I am gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. 11 His anger burns against me. He counts me among his enemies. 12 His troops advance in force. They build a siege ramp against me and encamp around my tent. 13 He has alienated my family from me. My acquaintances are completely estranged from me. 14 My relatives have gone away. My closest friends have forgotten me. 15 My guests and my female servants count me a foreigner. They look on me as on a stranger. 16 I summon my servant, but he does not answer, though I beg him with my own mouth. 17 My breath is offensive to my wife. I am loathsome to my own family. 18 Even the little boys scorn me. When I appear they ridicule me. 19 All my intimate friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. 20 I am nothing but skin and bones. I have escaped only by the skin of my teeth. 21 Have pity on me, my friends, have pity, for the hand of God has struck me. 22 Why do you pursue me as God does? Will you never get enough of my flesh? 23 Oh, that my words were recorded, that they were written on a scroll. 24 That they were inscribed with an iron tool on lead, or engraved in rock forever. 25 I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand on the earth. 26 And after my skin has been destroyed, yet, in my flesh I will see God. 27 I myself will see him with my own eyes, I and not another. How my heart yearns within me. 28 If you say, how we will hound him, since the root of the trouble lies in him. 29 You should fear the sword yourselves, for wrath will bring punishment by the sword, and then you will know that there is judgment. If this prayer spoke to your heart, stay in God's presence, breathe deeply, and rest. May the peace of the Lord surround you right now. And remember, you are not alone. God is taking care of everything. Sparkles light of the word, sparkles light for your life. Word for your heart.